What's up, Cripple Crew? This is EDC with DVD, Disabled but Deadly, and I'm here today to give my review on the CJRB Bowie Pyrite. This one has the rose gold ARRPM 9 blade. See if I can get that to pull up. And the black steel handles. And before I get into the review and whether or not I like this particular knife, I first would like you to stab the like button, /subscribe. I'd like to have you here and it helps my channel grow. And leave a comment below. Let me know what's in your pockets today. What are you carrying? Now, this particular knife was bought for me for Father's Day by a very good friend of mine. And he picked it up at AtlanticKnife.com. And I don't know if you're familiar with AK, but they have some really nice knives and really good prices. But C and Just Jewel also do weekly release videos about the new product for the week, and they are hilarious to watch. But to the Pyrite itself, I haven't had a CJRB before this. I have owned an Artisan. I won the Artisan Ahab from G-Ball on a members only giveaway. But last year, for her birthday, I got my daughter the Pyrite Warney edition in pink. And this was her first button lock. And she loves this knife. This knife goes with her pretty much all the time. And she loved this one so much that for Christmas, we got her the pink CJRB titanium pocket clip. And that was her first knife mod that she ever did herself. But for Christmas, we also got her the mini Pyrite, the pink and black edition. And these little things are so snappy. And of course, as soon as I say that, Murphy's Law is I have to fail it. But as you can see, they're very snappy. And she loved both of them, and I enjoyed flicking them. And so I've been wanting to get myself a Warney and looking at all the different versions. Of course, you know, seeing like the titanium handles and the exclusives and what do I want? Because you know, there's Pyrites, the regular Pyrite, and then the Warney Pyrite exploded. There's all kinds of flavors. But then they announced the Bowie Pyrite. And when I saw the shape that they did on this, I knew I had to have one. And now, a Bowie shape isn't my normal favorite shape. However, this one, the tip comes down so low that it's actually slightly below the pivot. So that makes the tip so much more accessible than a lot of Bowie knives that have a tip that's much higher, meaning you have to really raise your wrist or your arm to get to it. But I'll get to more on the blade in a minute, but when I saw it, I had to have it. And he ended up, I had got him a knife for Father's Day, and he grabbed me this one. And now that I've had it for a month, I want to go over this knife. The closed profile first is very nice. Before I get to the profile, let me do a few size comparisons just in case you haven't had a Pyrite of any flavor in your hands yet. We're going to start off with, let's go with the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, which is obviously going to be a much larger knife. We all know the PM2 is a full-size knife. And then we'll go with the Dimco 80 20.5. And now this is going to be a lot closer in size You have a little more handle on the Dimco, but you have definitely some more finger choil on the Pyrite, giving you about the same grip area, but more usable blade on the Dimco. Just a couple more size comparisons. One, just because it looks really cool with it, and with the black and gold Olight Phoenix flashlight, I'll show the Hodeca, and these two are very similar in size. So if you have a Benchmade bug out, you're also going to know that the Pyrite is almost the exact same size. Perfect EDC size. But to compare it to one that everybody knows, the Civivi Elementum, in this case the Elementum 2 button lock, but still the same size, and you can see very similar to the Pyrite. And then, just because we can, we're going to compare it to the new breed EDC Clydesdale, and man, that is such a good looking knife. Clydesdales are going to be a little bit bigger overall, not a lot. Anyway, so the handle in the closed profile is very comfortable. I mean, it's a good size, goes in and out of the pocket well, and with these steel scales, it slides effortlessly with the pocket clip in and out. Now, the scale material is being steel. You would think it would be heavier, but there is, I don't know if I can pick it up from this angle, but generous milling for weight reduction. So it's not an overly heavy knife. It puts it right at, I lost it, 3.81 ounces. So for a 3.15 inch blade, less than 4 ounces, pretty good, especially for steel scales. Now they are pretty smooth. So if your hands are wet or sweaty, it can be slick. And the pocket clip, with having the same rose gold coloring on it, is pretty slick. So it's nice and tight, but the texture, the lack of texture on the scale and the pocket clip make it slide in and out. It is a reversible pocket clip, so this is lefty friendly. And it's a nice deep carry pocket clip. Now, you've got thumb studs for the thumb flick and the reverse flick. You've got a nice fuller running down both sides of the blade that works, as long as your hands aren't slick, works for opening really well. If my hands are slick, I do have a little bit of time, so every once in a while I'll slip off of that reverse flick, but you see it's working just fine right now. Or you could open it with a button lock. And on a lot of plunge lock button locks, opening it like this isn't all that satisfactory feeling, because you'll flick it and it'll bounce in and out, and they don't have a great detent feeling. But this one actually does, and as I bounce it out, and similar to the original Elementum button lock that actually locked in the in position and you had to use the button lock, this is actually satisfying to fidget with and feels solid when you're doing it. Those steel handles also lend a nice feeling of solidity to it. And one thing about the button lock as your locking mechanism is it does keep your fingers out of the path of the blade when you're closing it. So it's, you know, what we call finger safe locking, which is, I prefer that in my knives. This does have a very generous forward finger choil, which also means it has a very nice actually, sharpening choil. Now you can see it's still wide up to about here, but that gives you a lot to sharpen off before you run out of life on that blade. It does have the rose gold finish, and this has a flat grind, but it's a decent height flat grind. So it comes down to a pretty slicey edge. Now, the blade length on this, like I said, is 3.15 inches. You've got a blade thickness of 110 thousandths of an inch and a blade width of exactly 1 inch. Your handle length is 4.19 inches, giving you an overall length of 7.36. Handle width is 8.88 inches, or 880 thousandths. And then handle thickness is right at 400 thousandths. Like I said, the weight is 3.81 ounces. And it feels nice in hand, in pocket, but it also feels real nice in the cut. Now, because of that tip being lower, if I want to do a draw cut, I can do it. I'm not going to cut through because my stuff underneath, but you can see it's very sharp. I can do draw cuts very easily, but it's also nice and easy, especially with your finger in the choil so the material doesn't get there. Even though you do have a belly that you can use for, say, rocking cuts, you have enough of a flat that it's as I go to a bad angle, it's a very decent slicer. I'm still horrible at this under the camera, but I'll get it figured out. And I just cut myself. But I'll show how it slices before I pause. And now I'll pause because YouTube doesn't like blood. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, people. Anybody who has ever done a knife review of any sort on video probably knows you should always keep band-aids and super glue handy. Now, I'm going to try to wrap this up. I want to give my final thoughts on it. One, when you're using this finger choil, it is sharpened all the way to the edge. So you want to be a little more careful than I just was putting your finger into the choil. But overall, this is my second favorite button lock. No, I take that back. I was going to say the Civivi Elementum OG button lock was my favorite button lock action, but I take it back because this gives me the fidgeting ability to use the thumb and reverse flick. I am going to say that this is my favorite button lock knife, and it is absolutely my favorite EDC Bowie knife. Now, I want to know if you guys have had it, what you think of it, or any of the Pyrites. I'm going to end up getting a warning. I'll probably get an OG shape. And, but what do you guys think of the Pyrite? I do want to point out a couple things real quick. If I seemed a little off, a little shaky on my review today, check out my latest Instagram post. You'll understand why. The adrenaline dump is still wearing off, but I'm here. And second, please support those that are helping me. I want to point out that if you go to and all this will be linked below as I just interrupt myself. It'll all be linked below. But if you go to www.fidgetduckedc.ca, Canadian homie Fidget Duck has quite a selection of really awesome handmade fidgets. Some of it, I mean, all of it's art the way that he does it. And every piece is unique. Check him out and use code all uppercase QUACKDBD. All one word, QUACKDBD, to save yourself 10%. Also, check out CountyCom. They've got an amazing selection of EDC items and all kinds of materials. There's a 10% link below, or an affiliate link below that helps my channel, and 10% code DBD saves you money. Lynch Northwest still has their freedom sale going on. Check them out, www.lynchandw.com. Huge support of the channel. Viperade, check out Viperade. I'll drop my affiliate link below. Use code EDC with DBD, all one word, save yourself 10%. Please check out Blue Elephant Hanks on Instagram. and check her out. She's got some awesome product in her Etsy store. She's helping out the channel. Titanium Justin is hooking up the giveaway. Check him out. Also, Vault Case is hooking up a Vault Case for my 200 sub giveaway. So check them out. And Glow Rhino, give them a shout too. Thank you. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay frosty, stay deadly. Megaron says, like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Thanks for watching.